And so I think that in the wake of wokeism, if you will, there's been a lot of accommodation that has been accepted or tolerated within businesses, which is like everybody needs to have these like, safety zones, and everyone has to feel hugged and fluffy and like all this stuff. And I believe that this is a pendulum. Right. And I think that the pendulum swung here, and I think a lot of brands, Walmart just came out recently rolling back some of its initiatives. I know Victoria's Secret did last year. Like a lot of them are starting to swing back. Now, I do think that we're going to swing too far the other way, to be clear, because that's how we do things. That's how us humans do things, right? But I think it's going in the right direction right now, which is going back towards the middle. And so within acquisition.com, we have this big belief that we're very good at training. Like we're very good at training skills because it's something that Layla and I pride ourselves on. And we're in this in-person environment. We're good at fast feedback loops. We're very good at breaking skills down into smaller chunks to make them manageable for somebody who's new. The problem is that sometimes that goes into no man left behind. And we are not a government program. Instead, it should be, if you can't keep up, you can't come. And so I think this is a departure from the traditional, like all accepting, let's all arms open. Like if someone, has like, they don't like working late, because we were trying to accomplish great things. And great things require great sacrifice. And it doesn't feel like a sacrifice to the person who also wants the great thing. It only feels like a sacrifice for someone who doesn't. And so that price diminishes for someone who's aligned. And so kind, not nice also brings into light, like being able to have these sincerely candorous conversations of saying like, you are not where you need to be. You assign a word that has a negative connotation. So I say something like, you are lazy. You are a piece of shit. You're a dick. You whatever. Whatever, insert the insult you want. A criticism is the gap between desired and actual. This is a commentary which is factual, which is the expectation is that you show up every day by 9 a.m. You've shown up every day at 9:05. Therefore, there's a discrepancy here. In order for you to continue maintaining your employment, you need to be here before 9. So this is a criticism. It's simply observing reality. And if you can do this, this will allow you to help people without having the emotional charge. Now, if I say you're 5 minutes late and that makes you lazy, or that makes you uncommitted, or that makes you insert whatever insult, it then turns this into an emotionally charged conversation. And so what happens is, and this is why I think it's important, is that you need to explain to your team, criticism is not negative. It's an observation of reality. An insult is where we attach judgment to that discrepancy. Like, your content sucks. That's tough. And the secondary of that is you suck because your content sucks, which is even harsher. But instead it says our channel average is 100,000. The content that you make is 75,000. In order for you to keep your employment here, you need to be above 100,000. And now let's break down what do we need to do behaviorally that will increase the likelihood that you meet desired or exceed it. And so then this is where you get to teach. This is where you get to train. If someone's always late to meetings, they might not be lazy. They just might not have the skill of showing up on time, which is a skill. And so you then say, okay, do you set alarms? How do you estimate your time of driving? Do you do it on the fastest time you've ever driven somewhere or the slowest time you've ever driven somewhere, right? Do you do it on the fastest time you've ever gotten dressed or the slowest time you've ever gotten dressed? And so typically when people estimate time, they usually just skew to one of these two things. There's the people who are always way too early. It's because they do worst case on everything. And then you've got the people who they do best case on everything and they're always late, right? So it's like, how do you estimate time and how do you set reminders for yourself to get places by the time you need to? And so literally breaking down that skill, which seems obvious, and yet there's many young people, and to be fair, sometimes old people, who don't know how to show up on time. And so understanding this and saying, if we don't share this criticism, we are being nice, not kind. We are seeking contentment. We are seeking approval from everyone. We are seeking consensus.